Hmm. Okay, so welcome to VRC Chem Lab, and today we're going to do the lab on page 467 of the Pearson Chemistry text, and it's called carbon dioxide from Antacid Tablets. Now, this is the name brand Alka Seltzer right here. This is one I usually get, but I wasn't going by Walmart yesterday, but I was going by CVS, so I have the CVS version. Oops, CVS version of Alka Seltzer. So this is what you need. You also need some balloons in this lab right here. I have just some party balloons, 15 latex balloons that I've used for other experiments here in class. And so if you have your book, you get that out. That'll be great. I took a picture of it and I put it in Canvas here. And this is page 467 of the Pearson Chemistry book. And so let's take a look. Well, it says that the purpose of the lab is to measure the amount of carbon dioxide gas given off when antacid tablets dissolve in water. So you can see a picture, a photo of what happens here. Here's a glass with some antacid in it. And then you see some bubbles coming off right here. It's carbon dioxide coming off. And I used to take this more so younger in life. My mom used to give me this when I had a stomach ache. So works pretty quickly. You're going to need those antacid tablets, 3 envelopes worth, 6 tablets altogether, 3 balloons. And then you're going to need some medicine dropper from your chem kit. One looks like this right here. It's a barrel pipette. Need some water right here, and need something to time with. So I have my iPhone. Okay, you need a metric tape measure. Now I don't. That's more like a cloth ones, like if someone's sewing and you can wrap that around. So a piece of string would be fine. I didn't have one handy a few minutes ago, so I just taped 2 pieces of paper together. So I made this so I can measure how wide the balloon's going to get. So so there's that, and then the graph paper is for later. And I'm not going to use a pressure sensor. Okay, so I think I've got everything I need. I also have, because I'm in my science classroom, I also grabbed a mortar and pestle. And this is used for crushing stuff. And you don't have to have one of these. You could just use a hammer if you wanted to, or you could use just anything hard on on the floor or on a desk. That would all work just fine. Okay, so because what you gotta do is you gotta crush the tablets, and they are not, they're easy to work with. So you'll be able to just snap them in half and just kind of crush it, but you probably want something to hit it with. So so there you go. Okay. So anyone need to pause and go get anything? You all set? I'm going to do this with you. And okay, good. And then we'll try to work this out and see what we get from this lab. Okay, so let's look at the procedure. So you're going to break 6 tablets into small pieces. You're going to keep the pieces from each tablet in a separate pile. Put the pieces from 1 tablet in the first balloon. So 1 in the first, you put 2 tablets in the second, and you put 3 tablets in the third. Okay, so I'm going to crunch up these tablets and then put them into 3 different balloons. Once we have that set up, we're going to use a medicine dropper to squirt. And this is about, which is key. So instead of doing, instead of measuring it out precisely to 5 milliliters, what we're going to do is we're going to take the barrel pipette and squirt, squeeze it to fill it up, and you can see the bulb of my barrel pipette's half full. We're going to call that a milliliter. So we're going to go 5 squirts of water into each balloon. And once I get 5 squirts in, I'm going to tie it off. Okay, and then number 3 says shake the balloons and mix contents, allow the contents to warm to room temperature. All right. Over here, measure and record the circumference of each balloon several times during the next 20 minutes. So once we get this started, we're gonna, I'm gonna measure it at 5, at 10, at 15, and 20, so we'll get 4 measurements to work with. Then we're going to give you the chance to do the rest of this stuff, but it says use the maximum circumference of each balloon to calculate its volume. So measure it at its widest, you know, where it looks like it's the widest round with the biggest circumference. And then you're going to use that number, the circumference, in this formula here to get R. And then you're going to plug R into that formula to get the volume. So we're going to see how the volume changes in time. The difference between the 3 balloons will be one will have 1 tablet, one will have 2 tablets, and one will have 3 tablets. And it says make a graph. You're going to graph the number, the volume versus the number of tablets. So the volume goes on the y-axis, and the tablets, number of tablets go on the x-axis. Use your graph to describe the relationship, and we'll have you do that on your own. Assume the balloon is filled with carbon dioxide gas at 20 and standard pressure. Calculate the mass and the number of moles of carbon dioxide in each balloon at maximum inflation. Again, you're going to use what you know from chapter 14 to calculate that out. There's some formulas in chapter 14, and that's going to help you out. And then if a typical antacid contains 2.0 grams of sodium hydrogen carbonate, how many moles of CO2 should 1 tablet yield? Again, this will make much more sense after you read chapter 14 and after we discuss this a little bit. We're going to do the lab here and then get the information, and then we're going to then we'll measure it, measure the balloons, give you the data, put it in a chart. But then we'll have you do number 5, 1, 2, and 3 separately, and we'll come back in a separate video, I think, and discuss all that. So this video will be of us doing the lab, and then we will take the information and process it so that you can do the lab report. So it says follow the procedure, make a data table, answer the questions, write a concluding paragraph, and then throw this all together with an introduction. This image also for the materials and methods, for the cover sheet on it, and ta-da, you've got your lab report all written up. Okay, all right, so let's get started with the lab. The first thing we have to do is break 6 antacid tablets into pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the document camera so you can have a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, so here I am on my desk. Let's see if we could get some stuff going here. Here's the board and pestle. Let's see, I'm gonna get some paper out. And, you know, in a laboratory, you might use some fancy paper, but you know, instead of doing that, I just need 3 pieces of paper to put the powder on when I'm done crushing it up. So now I have 4 pieces of paper. I'm going to fold it in half and in half again. You can do that hamburger, hot dog, or hot dog, hamburger. I'm doing this so that there's a crease. So once I get the powder in here, then it'll be easy to use this like a spout to pour it down the the paper into the balloon. Okay. All right. So let me try it without this. Let's see how much this what I have around here. Got a coffee mug. Maybe you could use that because you probably don't have a mortar and pestle around. Remember, there's a twosie, a threesie, and a onesie. So I need 3 of these. And I'm going to open one of them up. Put the paper underneath here. And open these guys. Take one tablet out. It's 2 per package. So wanted you to see that. So I've got a tablet in there. I'm going to save this for my other one. Okay. And you can see, you could probably, look, you could snap it here. Some smaller pieces already. Like that. Let's see how well this coffee mug's going to work. Turn your volume down. Here we go. Right, that's pretty good, right? In fact, there's some coming out the edge of that. So I'm gonna take this, just looking there. Yeah, pretty fine powders, right? So that's my ones. And so let's see. Go ahead and mark them. And put more on this. Close that up so that use that. Try to keep the powder. I'll do a 2 and a 3. With the 2s and the 3s, I can do it in the package, right? So let's crunch it out. Okay, so now I got the 2s and your 3s. And maybe you're following along and doing it as I do it. That'd be cool. All right, so let's go ahead and same way as I did the first one. Pretty good results as far as the correction goes. Don't really need a mortar and pestle. So there's one. And so this is my, I'll put this on my 2 paper right there. I might not even need the paper, but I don't know. We'll see. There's a break this. Oh, I did already broke it. I can feel it. Okay, so. So now I got 2 out of 3, and then I got this one right here. So crush this up a little bit before I pound it to death with the coffee mug. All right, small. It's a qualitative lab, so you know I lose a little bit here or there. They're about the same. You're going to see the results. And I can measure them to a very precise measurement this time. Fold it over. Keep most of that stuff in there. I got my 3s. Oops, I have a little bit of leftover coffee in there. So now I got my onesie and my twosie and my 3 over here. Grab some balloons from my bag. They are right here. 2, 3, one for number 1. Let's see, do I have a Sharpie? I do. I'm going to put a 1 on this. 2 on this one here. 2, 2. Put in a couple different places like that. And then let's do the same thing for the third one. So here's the third one right there. So now I got my balloons all labeled. And now we can take the powder and put it in there. Let me try the 1 first. So here's the 1. Stretch that out a little bit. Let's see. Start it. It is a balloon. And so I'm going to take the powder and pour that in successfully. If I miss, it will go on the paper, and I'll pour the rest off of the paper. So let's try. Hey, that's working pretty well. Okay, so just pouring that in there like that. I think I got most of it in there already. Let's see, there's right there. You can see it. Let's finish that up. Yeah, I got just about all of it. Okay, so that is the first one. That is balloon number 1. Let's move that guy out of the way. And let's go over to number 2. And I will open up the second envelope. Envelope, please. Open up the second one. And just like I did on the first one, I'm going to put some air in there to blow that up a little bit, make it a little more round and make it easier for us to pour the powder in. Here we go. Starts it up a little bit. Now I got a hole to work with. So let's pour that stuff in. And if I miss, no big deal. I have the paper underneath. And I'll take it off the paper. Then I'm going to try not to miss. We'll see once I say that. When something happens, it's like when you're watching the Lakers play and they say, Dwight Howard has 7 free throws in a row made. And then right when they say that, he misses. Oh. Speaking of the Lakers, which the sound you just heard on my phone was the sound of, oh no, LeBron is not playing tonight. He has sore knees. So it's going to sit out. Still getting the rest of the powder in. You see there, I got just about all of it. I'll try to get everything because we want to minimize the variables, right? So I'll try to make everything the same as much as you can. So we're going to try to get all that powder in there. Even though this is a qualitative lab, we still want to minimize the variables in a scientific experiment. So still coming out. Oh yeah, I can still see it. So keep trying on that. Oh. So a little bit more. That looks pretty good. Powder's in here. I just sucked it in. So there we go. That's balloon number 2. And put that one aside. We'll set up the third one. That third one right here. Catch everything with everything in. It's balloon number 3. In it, 2 different places. Got that thing started. Air's out. We're in tablet number 1. Open up the last envelope and get the rest of that in there. Okay, that's working pretty well. That's why I folded this. Sometimes we use what we call filter paper in the laboratory to do something like this. But really, for us right now, this is going to be just fine what we're working with. About done. A little bit on the paper this time, so I'm going to fold that over at the very, very end. Okay, so there's 1 tablet's worth, and then a little bit right here. So we'll pick that up after I get 2 tablets and make this 3 tablets. So I'm trying to shake all the powder to one end so I can open this up. And there we go. Toss my garbage while I make it. And then let's go and the other 2 tablets in here. So I've opened up my balloon. Pour that powder. Far so good. What the bigger chunk? I think that's the biggest chunk I've got. That's all anyway. Still got a significant amount in there. The envelope there, so I get the rest of that in there. Okay, good. Probably not a significant amount right there. Let's get it anyway. So, there. Might fold more, increase my my fold so it's more pronounced. So it works like a better funnel. And that's what I got. All right, I don't need the paper anymore. And my balloons we're done with. Let's take a look at what we got. We got number 1 over here. We got number 3 right there. And number 2 right here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is squirt 5 squirts of water from a barrel pipette into each balloon. I have 3 pipettes here so I can do it quicker. But once I get one going, I'm going to tie it off and we'll try to do it fairly quickly so that the times will be similar. Okay, so let's see that. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. One. Squeeze that one too. Oh man, I have a little bit coming out already. I'm just gonna tie that off. Okay, here we go. We can take a zero measurement if you want to do that. I got my strip of paper ready. Measure it. This is getting wet already. So, piece of string. Good if you don't. If you have a I just mark the piece of paper with number 1 and 0 minutes. All right. Okay. All the measurements will be from this end. Okay. Looks like I got to work a little quicker, huh? So I'm gonna on number 2 do the same thing. Get 5 squirts in here as quick as I can and tie it off. Okay. So here we go. Here's the water. I'll fill these guys up so I can get 3 going. Be better if I had 5, huh? But I think we'll be able to do it. Ready, set, go. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Woo! Got it in there. There goes. There's number 2. It's already, you can see it going, so I'm going to try to get a quick measurement. There it is. Okay, there's my 2 measurement. What's 3 going to be like? There's 2 at 0 minutes. And these guys are just, we're just going to sit there and about 5 minutes late. In 5 minutes, we're going to take another measurement. So, again. So 5 minutes we need to do that. We got the 0 and the 2. I mean the 1 and the 2. The 2 at 0 minutes look like this. That's it right there. Right there. Okay. That 3rd one going. Refill these guys. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. So I got 3 ready to go. And then when I throw it back in there, it'll fill up. By the time I need it, it'll be ready. Okay, so here we go. There's 3. And ready. That. 2, 3. Oh man. 3, 4. Oh, I lost some air though, didn't I? Man. That one's not going to give us great results, but hopefully we can see the qualitative result. There's the 3rd one going. one. Not confident of the result of the third one, but we'll do it as best we can. Right, so there's the third one right there, and I bet you it would have been more, would have been great if I had been able to hang on to that and not make a mess. See that it's starting to expand. Shake that. We'll take a measurement in just a couple minutes now for the 5 measurements. Okay. In the meantime, we can set up a table. Let's go ahead and do that. As you know, we have 3 different balloons. So 1. They go right there. We don't need the water anymore. 1, 2, 3. And we have times in. We have 0, 5, 10, 15, and 20. So this is going to be the circumference in centimeters. And this is going to be the number of balloon, or the number of tablets. Okay. Almost time to get the next measurement anyway. So let's go ahead and get ready to do that. But let's see if I can get a better ruler. This will do. Okay, so from the beginning here, my first measurement is the number 1 of 20 centimeters. So for number 1, I'm going to go 20 centimeters. And it was a, well, I have tenths of a centimeter, but it was close to 20.0 centimeters right there. Let's get number 2. Number 2 was a little bit more than what I can measure with this, so more than 25. 25 is right there. Number 3, though, is 25 point, let's say 2. It's like, show you this way. 25 point, ooh, maybe 4. 25.4 on that one. And this one is 25 is right there. And my line is, and we can make this 25 point, what, right there, and 5 point, also 4, how can that be? Well, that's 25, and it is, so this is going to be 25.2, and this one is going to be 25 point, close to 8, 25.2 and 25.8. So let's do a second measurement for 1 and 2 and 3. Let's do that. There's 1 and then there's 1. Let's take our number 2. 2, I guess, is the biggest get is right there. So that's 2. 3. 3 tablets. Remember, I lost that. So I'd like to do number 3 again because it's the same as number 2. Look at that. So it's 2 and 3 this time. So I am not confident that 3 is going to give us great results. But let's take a look. Well, that solid line was 25. So 25 plus 6.5 is 31.5. So on my table, 5 minutes is 31.5. And 31.5. And this one right here, right there, for the first one. Let's see what that is. Looks like 21.5. Oh, off screen. Looks like 21. Call that 21.5 right there. 21.5. So we need to take some measurements at 10, 15, and 20. And then we'll have the data and we'll give you the chance to analyze your data. Okay. I want to remind you though, with the mathematics of it, since we have a minute or so, what you're measuring right here, this is the circumference. So the formula is going to be R, or the radius, is equal to the circumference divided by 2 pi, where R is the radius and C is the circumference. Okay, so that's what those mean. Once you get that, you're going to solve. This is what we're measuring. Okay, so use this to solve for R. Once you get R, to get the volume is going to be equal to 4/3 pi R to the 3rd power. So once we get this number here, I'm going to plug it in there, multiply it by itself 2 more times, 3 times all together, times pi, times 4, divided by 3. That's really the volume of all the measurements that we get here. Okay. All right. So we're coming up to 10. So let's go ahead and take those measurements again. Here's 1. This one. Highlighter. Okay, let's do that. Here's the pink highlighted. That's number 1. Here's number 2. Does it? There's the paper. There's a. It's 2 is the same. So 2 and then the 3rd one. Then the reaction stalled out. Right now we got 31.5 for this one, 31.5 at 10 minutes, and then, this one right here might be just a measurement thing, huh? Why should it go down unless it's very slowly leaking, or maybe I measured it in the wrong place. Oh, look, I redo it. Instead of being right there, I measure it the same exact way. The same. So I'm gonna, I think that our reaction has peaked out. So I wonder if we can do one more I can try it one more time with number 3. Let's see while we're doing that, but I'll still do the 15 measurement and see if we get the same numbers at 5 and 10. Looks like it goes pretty quickly and then maxes out at 5 minutes. So I'm going to add to this. This is not part of the procedure, but you know, when you do an experiment, you try something else. So I'm going to call this 3.2. This is trial 3.2. This is still has 3 tablets in it, right? 3 the second time. So let me do that. And wind the clock over here. Check it again around 15. Take a couple more of these and crush them up. See what we get. Which I'll take that 1 out. 3 all together. Next time. I got 1, 2, 3 tablets. Snap them first. After I snap the other one, I'll crush them with the mug. Nathan, I got wet a little bit too, so no worries. All right, so there's that one. Here, crushing that up. Close to 14 minutes. And take the measurement and then run this other one. And then we can get the 20-minute measurements as well as the new measurement with the new 3 tablet. Alright, so there's one. That going. So we're crushed, ready to go. Well, let's make our measurements 15. So here's my fancy paper measure. Number one, same. Okay. Number 2. 2, same. Oh, misshapen, but let's see. It's very close. It's not. It seems to be bigger. Let's see. Oh, maybe it is a little bigger. Look at that. Huh. All right. So the other 2 are done, but this last one, the third one, maybe it's going a little bit still. So let's get that measurement. And that was our 15 measurement. So this one's 21.5, 31.5, and then this is our new one. So remember my pencil line there is 25. So I'm going to go and add to 25, 7.9. So what is that? 32.9. Right? 32.9. Right. And okay, so we'll take another measurement at 20. Be interesting to see if that third one goes any higher than that. It didn't move between 5 and 10, but it did get just a little bit bigger now. You look at them on the small screen. They look about the same to me, but this one is a little not quite spherical, right? And maybe it's just the bump that did it. I don't know. Well, let's get a third one. Let's get a third part 2 going. I'm gonna squeeze my water again so that I'll be ready to get the water in. So my water's now ready. I'll get the tablets powder ready. All right, let's get the first tablet in. It's right there. All right, so there's tablet number 1 away. Open this up. Oh, I cracked the envelope, so I'm gonna use this other envelope, I think. That coming out. Or I can put it on a paper. Let's see. Here's what you have available. So pour it into so 2 tablets worth of the Alka Seltzer. Most of it in there with that first pour. There's some more. And I watch the clock because I'm probably just going to pour this in here and add the water after we do our last measurements. Looking in there, looks pretty good, right? A little teeny bit there at the bottom. Good. All right. So this is our last one. But before we do that, let's go ahead and that final measurement. Let's see, what do I have? Anything? Brown marker. Let's see. Does that look different? Okay, let's do it. Because it doesn't matter what color it is. I just lost 30 seconds. So it's is it going to change them? Same. Look at that. Same as the pink one, which was a 10-minute number. Use the pink pen. So number 1 is done. 2. Yep. Same. Pink number. Number 2. Number 3. Oh, now 3 is about the same. Interesting. 3 is about the same. So all the pink numbers are the 20 numbers. So I didn't need the red Sharpie after all. 21.5, 31.5, 31.5. This one went up and then went back down. So I wonder if I can do a better job at getting this getting the 3 tablet balloon going And looks like according to this, if I let it go for 5 minutes, it should be about done. And maybe this was just a placement issue with this one. That's why it was a little bit bigger. Or maybe it did get actually bigger and then it leaked out, and maybe my tie wasn't good enough, or eventually a balloon loses air, so maybe some air got left anyway. All right, so let's try this. Let's stop that, and then I will reset it at 0. Let's move that out of the way. See what we could do. All right. I need my water's preloaded for 3, and hopefully I can do this much quicker this time. Maybe I'll do 3 like this. And let's squirt it in and do this. Get the 2. Okay, ready? Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Awesome air. There you go. That was pretty good. Got 5 squirts in there. We got a balloon that's tied. And oh, I got a hole. Gosh darn it. So I'll have to try that again with another balloon. But we'll do that in another video, or you can do that on your own. But you can see that just looking at it, it has already gotten a little bit bigger than our third one. Okay. Will it increase over time? I got my finger on the thin spot where the air is coming out just a little bit. Shaking it up. I wonder if it'll get any bigger. Well, don't know. I'll have to try it again. But here's your data for now. And 12.3.2 didn't quite work out. There's your information that you can work with in order to do your lab report. If you want to try it again with 3, you can go ahead and do that. But looks like I'm going to have to do it. Ooh, one more time. Yeah, look at that hole. Oh, now it's going away. Darn it. It's a good idea. But the execution wasn't quite there. Guess I popped it during the tie. So it was getting smaller. All right. So, ta-da. We're done. And I'm going to clean up a little bit and go back to our stop the screen share. Unless you have any questions.